Hi guys, it's Matt here from Henry Shine. Just doing a quick video today showing you the desk workflow within 3shape if you wanted to do a custom abutment. So this particular workflow will, I guess, fly with a lot of different custom abutment companies, but obviously we supply desks, so I'm going to show you the desk one. You know, the first thing that you need to do, come onto the desk website, download the 3shape libraries that you need on here. You can see also in here, have a look at the catalog. If you click on the catalog itself or a reference guide, so this is a reference guide here, you can see that they do analogs. If I scroll right up to the top, you can see within the desk solution, they do hilling abutments, they do scan bodies, you know, analogs, what you're chasing, as well as, you know, you can see the ellipse tie bases, angled tie bases that can go up to 25 degrees, straight screw channel tie bases, multi-unit abutments, you know, desk lock that if you wanted to do, you know, anything to do with locators. C bases are for your CEREC, you know, tie bases that will go inside of CEREC block. Angled abutments, screws, pre-mill blanks and blocks. I mean, outside of everything else, this is essentially what we're going through today. But the things that, as well as this, the other thing that you may need will be the analog to go into the model. Yeah. So you need to make sure. Let's say for today we're going to be hypothetically working on a let's say a Straumann BLX. So you can see Straumann BLX. Yeah. We've got, you know, particular numbers in here, non-engaging or engaging, depending on which one you want to choose. You can see the numbers and whatnot here that's needed. That's for the scan flags. If we come further down for the analogs, once again, you can see that if we come into here, Straumann BLX, if you're going to be wide body or whatnot, you know, you can choose your particular numbers that you need, regular or wide, right? And you can give that to your Henry Shine rep. And then as we scroll down to the custom abutments, you know, in titanium, you can see Straumann BLX, and then basically for a wide body, you know, let's 14mm blank, you know, essentially I'm going to be choosing, I'd say this one here. Yep, cool. So once you do that, you can also download the libraries. I'd suggest if you wanted to do, you know, CEREC tie bases using a CEREC system, I'll download that. This is ellipse tie bases, which are like an oval style tie base. You've got your straight screw channeled regular tie base. You've got your angled tie base. These obviously have different gingival heights up here on the tie bases, but the angled screw channels will allow you to do up to 25 degrees. Multi-unit, pre-mill, this is what we're doing today. So I'll tick that, I'll tick see approved, put in your email address and whatnot, and then download it. Cool. And then obviously this is for your locators and stuff like that. Cool. The other thing to know, third-party scan, if you download this and had a look at it, you can see that, you know, when I have a look at Straumann BLX, you can see that there's an actual, you could use a Straumann metal scan body or scan flag, but generally I'd suggest to use the DES intraoral scan body. If you needed an extender, there is an extender as well. Yeah, cool. All right, so you know what parts there that you're choosing. Then you'd need to come into your, depending on your software, you'd have to come in here. You'd need to tick the prefab holder to be unlocked within the VHF software. You'd need to buy it, and then obviously you can come in here and make sure that desk pre-milled tie bases is selected as a material to use. Yeah, cool. So now that we've ticked the prefab holder, we've unlocked it, we've downloaded the DES, you know, we've then downloaded the implant library off the DES website, I should say, and then pretty much all once you've gone into there, then you can go into the 3shape control panel, and then you import in your custom abutment library that you do have. Okay, so you go import materials, and then you download that particular library. So they have a titanium library, they have a cobalt chrome library, and they also have an angled screw channel titanium library as well that you can use. All right, but anyhow, so I've already downloaded that one, so I'm not going to do that again. So in regards to the order form, once you've imported in that particular material, the DME file, you can go modify. We set up our order form. So setting up the order form, you choose your crown. You're going to be choosing, for us, let's say you can see ASC or angled screw channels. We don't want that. We just want the pre-milled abutment tie base. Now, if you recall, it was a large and number wide body is what we're choosing there. We make sure we're choosing titanium. Doesn't matter about color. And then manufacturing process, I'd generally be choosing 0.4, but you could choose 0.5 as well if you wanted to. All right, so that's that. And then you choose your crown on top of that. And then obviously make sure it's zirconia, whatever shade and whatever manufacturing process on top of that. Cool. All right, so that's everything all calculated, well, set up for the order form. You can see that I'm choosing denim model and I'm going to choose hollow and holes. If you are going to be printing with anything to fit in analog, you make sure that you print it on a slight angle on the platform to reduce suction, and it will also increase accuracy for your analog within the fit of the model. Alright, so now we're going to go to, oh yeah, I'll just keep my design, and we're just going to go next. But essentially there's two steps. The first step is to do the analog itself, and then the second step is to do the crown, yeah? So, for all these first steps within 3shape, I'm not going to spend much time on them because it's just like, refine models, set occlusal plane, trim, sculpt. I'm just going to skip all that. With the alignment of the implant scan flag, that's where, as I said, you could choose the Straumann one, but down the bottom here, if you clicked on scan flag, let me just go back. So you can see here, so there are all these different, scan flags. That's like the addition, but in general, like if you were to be choosing the desk scan flag, you just choose that one and then align it. But there are obviously, different options here. So whether it's Straumann or different, scan bodies, you can then pick and choose what scan flag was used for the particular case. Cool. Then we can go next. I apologize for my design, but I'm not going to spend too much time on it because we can just go next again and just kind of keep on working through this workflow. So you can make the shape whatever shape that you wanted to. There are different different prefab shapes that you can choose from. Yeah. This is one that I've kind of thrown together, but you can see you can kind of pull these designs whatever way you wanted to make it suit your particular needs. Yep, once you've pretty much all designed that, you can also you can snap to gingiva, which will then basically pull your design and snap it to the gingiva. You can hold shift so that they're all highlighted, then you can kind of pull that down a little bit so they're a little bit out of the height of the the tissue. Cool. And then pretty much you can change your settings in here as well, but for all intensive purposes I'm not going to change that. But actually I will say with this radius just here, if I go back, so in the advanced tool set, see how it says shoulder radius? If you're finding that your analogs are too tight or it's not milling out enough, you can adjust that shoulder radius Yeah, and then that's obviously going to allow your burrs to get in there a little bit easier. Yep. Cool, that's that. Alright, so from there, sculpt, you can, sculpt it, or you can do whatever you wanted to. It's going to place a margin in around the outside there, and then it will then create a die, just like how you would a normal die. Alright, or die spacer I should say. Now this next step, obviously once this is done, it'll then put the crown on. You can like reconnect the margin of the crown to the margin of the tie base. You can use a wax knife if you wanted to smooth certain sections. Once again, depends on whatever settings that you chose here, will depend on how much it's going to look right for you. Yep, next. And then in this final assembly part, you can also, depending on how you wanted to do it, if you wanted to cement it first and then screw it in together, you can tick screw hole through all layers, which will then, so you could then basically, the lab could cement this all and then just give it to the clinician to cement, or to screw in using the screw. Or likewise, if I untick that, then obviously the clinician would screw the custom abutment in and then cement the crown in themselves. Yep, cool, you can go next, and then pretty much, well, that's your workflow for a desk custom abutment. You can go through and then do the modeling step, which, pretty much is all your pretty standard kind of model workflow. The only thing is that I would suggest to do would be doing the cutting of the spline. So you've got that cut out section to do, say, soft gum tissue. So I'll just go next. Come on, PC, you can do it. I know you're getting old, but alright, you can see there it's got the analog. I believe that in 2025 version they will give you an option to change your analog too. I'm not on 2025 yet. So section lower jaw, and then go next. And then pretty much, well, once you've gone to this final step, you can then, place everything that you needed to on there, and pretty much will finish up any minute now. There we go. Cool. You can see how it's got the soft tissue trim section just here. Yep. So that's all good. Cool. Next. And then that's your workflow done. So you could use a desk, analog componentry that will go in there. Yeah, pretty much, well, it will be pretty straightforward for you. And then that's your workflow finished. Once you've finished creating that model, you can then come into the VHF software. You choose your desk pre-mill blank, you move it in, you work that into your workflow, you go next. Obviously you choose wherever your STL gets exported to, you make sure you choose the custom abutment part, you move it in. You can move it to fast, so this right now. So if I move that in, see how you can choose between 1, 2 or 3 star. You can also choose between 1, 2 and 3 star there now as well. Cool, and then you can move it in. 1's just fast, 2's like standard, 3 is optimal. And then it will then place it into your, tie base. Don't have to put any sprues or anything like that on there. The software will all do that for you. That's that, and then that sends to the mill. So pretty much all after that sends to the mill and it gets sent to Dental CNC, you know, it will then show up something like that. And then in here as well, you can, you know, I haven't deleted it, but once it finishes creating the cam here, it will then show you within the VHF software, you know, the finished outcome of what the tooling strategy is giving you, and it will let you know the areas that it can't get at. So all good. Thanks guys. Hopefully that helps. I'll catch you then. Bye.